Welcome back. This is part 3 of decorating a mountain lot. Today we're going to finish the living room section of this living space. And in the previous episodes, we decorated this kids area and the kitchen. So before I get started with decorating everything, like I did the last time, I'm going to empty out this area of our default furniture. I'm not deleting these, we're reboxing them, and that just puts it back in my inventory. I'll leave the TV there for now because I know I want one in the scene. So as I fly around this space and think about what I want to build, there's a few features that sort of dictate how the flow will be set up for this area. This is quite a large area, but it's pretty simple if you take some of the existing lines we have and just think about what feels comfortable. So to that end, I've got this entry hallway. You can imagine walking down this hallway into your stylish loft. And to the right you have this room, to the left you have this. And this is just a big open space. So what I want to do is I'm going to close it off a little bit with another piece here, just to alter the flow. There. Now when you come in, you're going to see this shelf. It's a see-through, so you can still see to where you're going to end up, but it does have this sort of nice unconscious feeling that I need to turn. And if you can imagine, if you actually lived here, you would turn and then voila, the mountains, right? So that also gives us a nice backdrop to now have a little bit more structure in this area. So what I'm thinking here is that I'll raise the floor again like I did in the kitchen. I'll have these raised platforms and a nice floating step. And I'll do that around this area. Then I'll also raise this area. And this can be its own seating area. And then this entire space will be devoted to the living room. And this area here will just be left blank because it's sort of a transitional part of the hallway that you'd use to move between the living room, the kitchen, and this little walkway towards the kids area. So I'll get started with these platforms now. Now for this side, I have a decision to make with the placement of these platforms. I can either have this platform be flush with this edge and have my stair float out this way. Or I can pull the platform in and have the stair be inset. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have an inset stair. So now we have that area set up, but it's feeling a little shallow. So I'm simply going to pull these out with my scale tool and then shrink these down. There. Those proportions feel really good to me. Now I'm going to set up my floating stair. Alright, there. Now we've got a nice floating stair that will lead us up into this side of the room. And it also matches the floating stair and platform in our kitchen. So now that we've got that set up, I'm going to move on and decorate our living room, sort of two sections here, and I want to treat this sort of like a reading area, maybe just something simple, not too crowded. There's not very much space, but I feel like this is where you might have books, sort of a cozy space, and it's off of the main area, a little bit secluded. Sometimes it's a little bit much to force a large piece of furniture into a space, so I'm going to take this couch out and place with these armchairs. For now, I'll put the couch here just in case. Now we'll move into the main area. So for this, I'm going to do a couple of couches, all focused around an entertainment center. So I'm going to move the TV from this wall over here and throw some couches out and just get an idea of how this space will feel. Get rid of this for now. And sometimes you get a happy accident. So while I was putting these couches out here, I noticed this love seat. I think the love seat will go good in this area, my reading area. I can already tell there's just too many couches in here, so we're just going to take this out. And I can use these storage credenzas to balance this scene. Sort of like this one, so I'm going to do a couple more. Now we got the basic scene set up here. So I'll start putting in a few more details like smaller pieces of furniture before we do the fine details. And now I'll just start putting some finer details in, like lamps. Some sculptures, pictures on the wall. And again, with this process, I find it best to start with really broad strokes, getting content onto the screen, such as pictures and basic furniture, and then just tweaking. And at this point, the entire living space is starting to feel really at a done state. I'm really happy with the way it's all turning out, and so, I can switch over here and put some roses, or I can continue to detail specific areas. And once you really get going with this, you'll find yourself sort of in a state of flow where you see one thing, you put it down, you see another that you want to do, you put it in, and it can be very relaxing. And really that's the key thing here, is that you're personalizing the space the way you like it. And maybe you have a lot more personal photos on the wall. Maybe you're going to invite friends to come see and share. And it's up to you to just make it yours. We do need something here, but this couch a little bit too big. I'm going to put this couch in the hallway just to see if it works.
There we are.
And I'm going to clean this out a little bit too. I'm not going to get rid of the dollhouse, but it feels like it's encroaching into this space a little bit too much for me, so I'm just moving this over. So now it has a cleaner feel. You don't get distracted by the dollhouse as you're coming around this corner. Got a few benches that I'm going to try out here before we wrap it all up. And I'm just going to put them out and pick one. Pick one which I think looks the best. So I think that I'm going to keep this bench and maybe put it over here by the front door. And then this one really feels like an outdoor bench. It doesn't belong inside. And this one too. These two really feel modern to me. I think they're strong. Just blocky. I'm actually just going to use the wooden one. And we'll do two. Okay. So this feels good to me, and that wraps up this video series. I hope you enjoyed watching and seeing what's possible in Egowall, and I hope it inspires you to create. If you want to see this space right now, you can click on the link in the description below, which will load you right into the 3D space on egowall.com in your web browser. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks. Have a great day.